The episode contains some mildly strong language, nothing to fear. Please also bear in mind that we are not experts and only share our opinions and theories in an open space. Some information may not be accurate.
Hi, I'm checking in.
I'm checking in
To the past,
future,
and present.
Hello!
Hello!
How's it going?
Special day. What a special day.
Chill.
There's so much to say and do, and
Is there?
is there? Yeah, kinda.
Oh my god.
It's like a lot of stuff that's basically coming together on this day today.
I'm lost. What kind of stuff?
So first of all, we have a guest today.
Oh, yeah,
technically
yeah.
Listening in. And the second thing is, this is our 10th episode.
You know what? I was thinking that, oh my god, how many episodes did we record already? I think it was 10. I thought maybe like 7, 8.
Oh, it's a 10th one.
What? 10th anniversary.
I know! And there's also like a lot of other stuff technically going on, but we will not talk about it. But as always, at the topic episodes, I have food prepared. And then also you're getting the 10th episode anniversary gift from me, which also
Whoa.
then at the same time be your birthday gift.
Okay. I was gonna be like, no. Okay.
You want to have the gift first or the food?
I think you could even my swallow on the thingy, so maybe the food.
Okay, sure.
You
Bring
were
it.
like, I want you to say the gift. I want you to say the gift.
It's totally fine. I mean, I'm basically gonna bring it in together anyways, but...
Together. Whoa! Okay. I need a fork ASAP.
So,
Aww.
this is for you.
Did you bake that yourself?
Yes.
Didn't know you could bake.
Me neither. And I remembered that you love strawberry cake, so...
I don't even know if I love strawberry cake, but I love strawberries and I love cakes. So this is like the best combination.
It's like I'm listening in. Yeah, exactly. Humphrey 1-1.
Yeah, I'll take some. Is it like a proper German cake?
Normal cake.
Or is it proper Leo cake?
Yeah. So basically what it is, it's a ricotta strawberry cake.
Ooh.
Yeah. Thank God.
It's so good.
I was so stressed out.
You did so well.
Well, eat your piece. In the meantime, we will be talking about Zillennials. Emi, are you ready to check in?
Yeah.
She's like, I have cake. I have a present in front of me. Of course I am. Right. So today we will be talking about Zillennials, which is a micro generation, or like hybrid generation of Gen Z and Millennials. We both are not Zillennials technically, because year is like 1993 until 1998. So these like 5 years. This is what's like generally agreed upon. So we both barely missed the mark. But I feel like it should be until 2000, like 1993 until 2000.
Maybe. I
Because-
thought Gen Z was until 2000.
2010.
What?
Yeah, you're
Isn't
technically...
that Gen Alpha?
No, that's when Gen Alpha then starts.
What the hell?
And do not identify with people who were born in 2010 at all. I mean, I don't even identify with people who were born in 2000. So we're first of all, of course, going to define what is Gen Z and what is millennial. And then, of course, what is like the common traits of the Zillennials. And a few questions, basically, yada, yada, yada. I'm going to remove the cake so you can open your gift.
I was like, are you going to start or when can I open the gift? You're king! I didn't know you could do that with multiple pictures and designs. You're kidding. Ooh.
I remember when you said you don't want any pillows on the sofa when we're recording. It was like, I just got the perfect idea. It's perfect for the 10th anniversary.
That looks so professional. I cannot. I still think we look like we belong on H&M.
Abercrombie and Fitch at least.
Hugo Boss. Anyway.
Do you want to start it?
Yes.
All right.
Let's go.
So we're going to start with Gen Z. What do you think is characteristic of Gen Z?
Oh my god, so many things. Not taking shit anymore. Being like,
especially at work.
knowing what they want and what they don't want, but also being super anxious, which
Yeah.
I think is a funny combination. I don't think everyone in Gen Z is anxious, but I see it a lot.
We are most, not we, because I don't identify as Gen Z, but Gen Z is the most mentally unhealthy generation. Like, statistically.
I think that is just because we are not afraid anymore to be like, oh, well, I have depression, or
Yeah.
I have this, I have that. And I think people before that, I think they also had shit to deal with, but they just didn't deal with it.
Yeah.
Which is why we now go to therapy.
General trauma.
Thank you. You can't tell me that we have more mental problems than people that went to war and shit, you know? But we just weren't at the point where you could go to a psychologist or a psychiatrist easily. Well, it's not easy now, but that openly.
Yeah.
So I don't think that statistic really shows.
I feel like statistically speaking, it's more about like the people who admit to it.
Yes.
Like the people who are like, I'm in need of help, like psychologically.
Yeah. And I think Gen Z does portray that, being like, this is not working properly inside of me, whatever, I want to fix it. I think we're the generation that is, again, not taking shit anymore in the terms of, I don't want to be like this. I don't want to be broken. I don't want to be traumatized. I don't want to be shitty. I want to fix it, even though it may wasn't our fault, but we still fix it. And I think that's what Gen Z is, being like, I'm going to take life to my own hands.
I agree with that. So basically what I wrote down is the main social media app or like way of socializing on the internet is TikTok. TikTok is the Gen Z app.
Yeah.
That's just what it is. There are like different ways of defining it, but the most common one is 1996 until 2010.
I think that's way too long.
That's something that I'm going to get into later as well. But this is like what's the technically official and most agreed upon reach.
Yeah.
So Gen Z was the transition generation between analog and digital.
That's true.
So some of them, when they were like babies, were not aware of the internet yet. Us, for example.
Yeah.
I feel like the internet only came into my life when I was like 8.
Yeah, and I think my first experience was like on the old phones, and you would click on internet and you just want to make sure that you go out of this app as fast as
yes,
possible.
because you have to pay for it. Oh my god, yes, literally.
Yeah, that was my first experience
Never
with the
click
internet.
on the internet button.
Never, never, ever.
That's so true. That's why Gen Z is also called digital natives, which as a term is a bit misleading because millennials are also called digital natives. And it's basically the people who were around when the internet started to like take off.
Yeah, and weren't too old to learn it.
Yeah.
Or too uninterested to learn it. Yeah.
So Gen Z is also climate anxiety. I feel like that's where we come from. Fridays for Future was like our main first protesting.
Yeah,
Then
I think so.
We live in a very shifting financial landscape, so especially rent has been just skyrocketing. Like every generation, of course, has issues with money and how to afford stuff, and everything is getting more expensive over the generations and blah blah blah.
Yeah, but I feel like we're just fucked.
Yeah,
like we're working
with Gen Z, it's the most insane.
Yeah, we're working with the perspective of shitty pension.
Yeah.
Not ever being able to afford a house, possibly. Not knowing how to afford stuff if you have children.
Yeah.
Knowing how to spend time with your children if you have children because you have to work. I can't even imagine if you're a single parent, like how on earth are you going to manage that?
It only works
with
like friends and family, I feel like.
But they're making it so much harder for us. And I feel like society is not really helping us either.
Yeah.
They just want to make sure that the older generation is good. And we're like, okay, so how are we going to figure out to afford life, to afford rent, to afford children, to afford anything, to make sure that we have pension when we don't work anymore? And they're like, let's talk about in like 10 or 20 years.
It's sort of like the issue of the gen. Not like the issue of the government. It's sort of like,
because they're all
you need
so
to take
much
care of
older
it
than
yourself.
us. They're older and they want to make sure that they are well off, but not us. That got dramatic pretty fast.
Well,
anyway,
future looks very bleak. Okay, so the next thing that I wrote down is that basically social media is like probably mostly available to, well, it's available to everyone, but the users are definitely Gen Z and millennials. But what is especially interesting about Gen Z is that basically they do all the stuff online. So they work online, they shop online, they date online, everything. Everything.
Shit, I didn't even think about it that way.
Yeah, because when you do it the whole time, you're not like, this is my life and I'm living
Yeah,
my
that's
life.
so normal.
Yeah.
Well, props us shopping in the city the other day.
Yes, I love going to the city. Well, I mean, I'm not Gen Z, so I'm being the Robert Pattinson of this episode.
By the definition, you are, but by heart, you're not.
No,
You're like the millennial. Even though Leo is younger than me, he's a millennial and I'm Gen Z, which is really funny.
you sort of already said it that Gen Z is like more individualistic, so they are more concerned about like what do I want and what will I accept and what will I not accept, especially in terms of like being treated a certain way and respect.
In relationships, at work, anywhere.
A downside of that though is that Gen Z is very trend chasing. So trends nowadays are not trends for very long. So the term
Not at all.
the term viral actually does not mean what it used to mean in like 2011. Like when
Not
something
at all, no.
was viral, it was viral for like a year.
Yeah, and
or at
now
least
it's
6
maybe
months.
for a week.
Yeah.
Max maybe 1 or 2 months.
Yeah.
I think wouldn't know anything for 2 months. I think a month is like a few weeks is like normal.
Yeah. And then there's
You
nothing
could
else.
have multiple viral things at once and
Yeah.
some things stay viral. It's crazy. I think that's also just because of the internet. There's so many new things in such a short amount of time,
and so much
which
exposure.
ruined my attention span.
Gen Z is also the generation of AI. No generation is using AI as much as Gen Z.
Yeah, because we know our shit.
What does that have to do with anything?
Like, we're like, I think we experienced that society messed with us so much.
So we're turning to AI?
No, but now we know how to take your power back. We know how to, like, the system is not messing us up anymore. We're messing up the system. Do you get what I mean?
I guess it's the exact opposite.
Really?
Because you're basically saying that Gen Z is trying to mess up the system by using AI to like their advantage.
Yeah.
And I think it's
Not messing up the system, but like learning how to navigate the system.
Yeah. And I feel like it's the exact opposite. By using AI, you are fostering into what the governments and like the rich people want you to do. So you're actually doing the opposite. But that's
I don't agree.
Okay, no, that's fine. That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, we have very, very, very conflicting views on AI.
I have not written it down for a topic.
Oh, that's good. Because I think we get out. Like, we should do that maybe as a last episode of the entire thingy. Because then we wouldn't talk to each other for like a few months.
No. It would not be that.
Nah.
All right. So a few other things that I wrote down. We're basically at the end of Gen Z already. But vintage is like a very big thing for Gen Z.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all.
See, we don't always need new things.
No.
We create new things with old things.
Yeah. But it's also a lot to do with nostalgia. But nostalgia plays more a role in the Zillennials, so I'm going to shelve it for now.
Interesting. Okay.
The thing that I wrote down is sustainability, which then goes hand in hand with like the climate anxiety that Gen Z has.
Understandably.
Fighting against racial injustice. So I'm talking mainly about Black Lives Matter protests.
Yeah.
And then also like in terms of other ethnicities. I feel like Gen Z is very vocal about that, which I think is very, very good.
100%.
And we also went to a Black Lives Matter protest in 2020.
Yeah, and I wrecked my knee. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Well, it was before the protest.
Yeah, it was
even funnier.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm still gonna go. I just taped it and went.
While preparing the signs.
Yeah.
My busted sign.
Please
was
be
like,
careful with cutting boards.
So activism is like a Gen Z thing, which is, I mean, activism, all generations have it in some sort of way. But I feel like the millennials, and then maybe even the gen before that, they were a bit more together with activism. And then
except for the hippies.
Yeah, but that was technically 3 generations ago. Like the people were like grown-ups or like 20 something. They were 3 generations ago.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why.
There were protests. I mean, every generation.
But I mean,
protesting
in that
something.
sense, you're more Gen Z than millennial, in my opinion, because you're very vocal out. Yes, 100%.
That's good to know. Convenience is also a great thing for us, which also then comes together with AI.
A need, a must.
Yeah. The big thing that I hate about Gen Z is
tell me
that Gen Z favors consumption over ownership. So what I mean by that is look at streaming, then look at also apps, licensing, video games, all this kind of stuff. So you are a perfect example because you love when you buy Switch games, you love to have them on your Switch directly. Online. So not as a physical thing. Yes. You're not owning the game in that way. What you're doing is you're owning a license for the game. And the second the servers don't work anymore, there's an issue, you cannot play a game. Worse when you have like the physical media, so movies as like DVDs, CDs, vinyls, whatever, and then obviously video games as cartridges.
Yes.
Yeah.
Again, this is for me a point of
Yeah,
convenience.
exactly.
Yeah.
So convenience is like a big thing, but it's also very difficult and very troubling because there's no ownership.
Yeah, and to be honest, I don't really care for the ownership.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's why so many people do it.
Yeah.
With streaming.
Yeah, because if I have it as a CD, for example, I listen to it when I'm on the go.
Yeah,
I'd still have to stream it.
CD player. Do you know the old Walkmans?
Leo.
Yeah, it's a matter of convenience, of course. You would
Yeah.
need like a CD player for music. You need like a tape.
Imagine if you forget the CD.
Yeah,
If you lose it,
yeah.
your ownership then. Well, you're a person
With
who
someone
don't lose
else.
stuff, but I just have, like, if I think about all of those things, I just would have so much stuff.
Yeah.
Like, all with streaming movies and series. I mean, I already have so much stuff before I got into streaming, and now it would be insane and also so much more expensive. I mean, I feel like they also want to not own.
Yeah, exactly. So they can just take it off anytime they want.
Yeah, but I'm cool with, I'd say 90, maybe 95% of it. But I'm always pissed when a series or a movie I want to watch is gone. I do own a couple movies, but I also own them on Amazon Prime. So it's like...
You have everything backed up. All right, that's basically everything about Gen Z that I wrote down. I don't think there's much to add.
I think we can move on to the next bit. And if we still have time, we can still come back.
100%. So millennials, how would you define millennials? Or what would you say
Maybe you should define millennial.
First of all, I'm going to start with the dates. So once again, as with Gen Z, there are like multiple definitions of when the millennials start and when they end. The most agreed upon definition in this sense is 1980 until 1995. And what you might also realize now is that there's like a pattern of like 15 years-ish always with gens.
Got it. I have to change it.
Shelve it for 5 minutes, and when we go to Zillennials, then yeah, let's pick it up right there. So millennials, the way of communicating online was mainly Facebook. Beginning.
And IBM. Is it called IBM? Like, you could chat on there. I don't know if it's called IBM.
I mean MSB.
Thing that goes, uh-oh. That thing I'm talking
AOL?
about.
No, I know exactly what you mean, but I don't know.
My siblings used it.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Do you remember, Humphrey?
Yeah, I do.
You're so old.
At this point, you see the dinosaur on top of my head.
No. Yeah.
You know what it's called?
AOL, I think so.
AOL, something like that.
That was the earliest email.
Yeah.
For Yahoo and Gmail, I think Gmail was quite recent. I can't really remember the initials, but it sounded like MIAOL or something like that, yeah.
That was the longest answer ever.
So these were like the social medias of the day back then.
Now Facebook is dead. Sorry
Basically.
for anyone who still uses it, which...
It's crazy.
No, actually, I'm not sorry. It's dead.
It's crazy. But yeah, Facebook is still running, actually. A lot of people are still on Facebook.
I'm so proud
Facebook
that
groups.
my mom is not on Facebook. Couldn't be prouder.
I'm not talking about that.
Rude!
No, I have to say it. So millennials are the hipster generation. And
No, I'm just
and
kidding.
they are known for a very healthy lifestyle. And so they have...
That's true.
Gen Z has the moniker of digital natives, and even though it also applies to millennials, what would probably describe them more is the wellness generation.
Ooh.
So what it means is that they try to take care of themselves. They try to eat very healthily. They are the generation that first started to go like intensely to the gym and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So they were also known as like the avocado generation. So it's funny, right? So basically, in the 2010s, avocado had like this big resurgence, and everyone, you don't know?
No.
That's where it comes from. That's why we're eating so much avocado nowadays.
That's
because
crazy.
it had this like big resurgence back then. Also part of like the hipster culture.
I appreciate very much.
Yeah, I love avocado. They have an insanely high digital literacy, even more than Gen Z, because Gen Z was in this transition period of basically growing up with it, but having the very, very early years without it. Whilst millennials, when technology really started to take rise, they were already old enough to completely end everything from the get-go. So had a completely different relationship to
Mm-hmm.
it, which helped them a lot. So they are very highly educated. And actually, it's the first generation where women are more educated than men. So what that means is, in terms of like actual numbers, that more women went to college than or university than men did in this generation, which I also thought was very interesting.
Yeah, like that's very sad that that was the first generation.
Yeah, but also you need to
But
consider
go women!
when was the first time a woman was allowed to be at a university. I think it must have been like 40, so that's not that long ago.
Yeah, pretty right.
So they were actually very fast.
not even
I mean,
100 years.
Yeah. I mean, I say something wrong right now, but I feel like it was like the 40s.
Let's Google.
When was the first woman at university?
Do you think it depends on countries? I
100%.
don't.
100%.
So are we looking for Germany?
Sure. I feel like Germany was very progressive in that sense.
I just typed in when was first women allowed to
And then there was like,
vote, run a marathon, vote in Canada, go to college, go to school, starting in 900. Initial access, but there were pre-limitations. Oh no, before that. Full access 1909.
okay.
And the first female professor in Germany 1923.
Oh, that's good. There. So at least for over 100 years. Let's say 120.
At least. Yeah.
That's so sad.
Yeah. But hey, got a degree.
1 degree harder. I think a major difference to Gen Z also is, even though millennials are purpose-driven workers, so what that means is that they have a purpose for working, while Gen Z sometimes does not see the purpose in working, which is why they do it for the money. That's the purpose. While millennials are more like, I'm trying to improve self, I'm trying to improve society, I'm trying to improve this, that. Something that Gen Z so far is lacking, because they feel like there's not really a payoff besides money at the end of
Not
the day.
everyone, because I
No,
feel
of
like I
course.
have the millennial mindset when it comes to that. But also, I think Gen Z just doesn't want to be exploited anymore.
Yeah.
Because you can't always change the world by working.
Yeah.
And a lot of times you change because of it. And also not every Gen Z person, but
I feel like that's something in general that we should have probably mentioned at the beginning. All of this stuff is like generalizations.
yes, 100%.
So
I
it not
consider
apply
myself
to you.
Gen Z, and you just said that, and I was like, I don't agree.
Yeah.
It's not like that for me.
Yeah.
And it might like be that way or the other way, but a whole different way for someone else. But yeah, these are just generalizations.
Yeah. And millennials, what they did do is they questioned authority at work. But then what Gen Z went further on is they didn't just question it, they actively went against it and like tried to find solutions, tried to do actions.
I think that's so good.
Yeah.
Again, Gen Z.
Yeah. And just basically everything I wrote down about these like two macro generations. It was a bit easier to find stuff about Gen Z than it was about millennials, to be honest.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because we have a bigger internet presence.
Yeah, literally. That's literally what it is. So this brings us to the Zillennials, which is a hybrid or micro generation. And because we shelved it earlier, let's talk about this like 15-year generation thing.
Yeah.
So in doing my research and looking at like the former generations, there was a pattern of like, usually it's always like 15 years. So Gen Alpha technically would be 2010 or 11 until 2025. So that would be like the 15 years. This would be considered Gen Alpha. So technically this year would already be Gen Beta's generation. So everyone born this year.
Yeah, I don't agree. I think it's too wide.
I'm thinking the same thing.
Because people born 2010, they're already 16. And then you compare it to someone born 2020.
Yeah.
Who is like 6.
Yeah.
And you tell me it's the same generation? No.
The very first, like when people started to do like this generational classification, I think it was like 20 or maybe even 25 years. So like the born 19 until 1920.
No way.
So it was even wider back then, and probably like in Roman times you could probably call a generation like 100 years.
Probably. Because we now have so much more change.
Yes.
In such a short amount of time. Like imagine, so when I started university, there was no AI.
Yeah.
Now I use AI so often. And I started 5 years ago? So 5 years ago there was no AI. The internet, we didn't grow up with internet, and now we use it every day.
Yeah.
For anything and everything. And that is just our span. No.
Yeah.
I think 5 years might be too little.
Yeah, I feel like it depends, because if there's like something as insane as like COVID, that is like a real deal breaker.
Oh, yes.
So the people who were old enough to like understand COVID, so I'm gonna say people who are like 6 years or older, compared to like people who were like 2, and in this it's like
Yeah.
literally just a few years. They might not understand exactly what has been on and like the
That is very
reality
true.
of the disease.
Yeah.
Is a completely different mindset.
Yeah. I don't even think that you can set the marks like they did.
No.
Like this year, boom.
Yeah.
You cannot. I think it's good to have like
Ambiguity.
categorization.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No.
But yeah, basically. But have some sense of who you are or what people born same year or similar to you are like, but it doesn't define you. It doesn't mean that you have to be that way.
Exactly.
And I think that's what also hit me at times, because I was like, wait, am I Gen Z? Am I a millennial? Because my siblings, they are millennials.
Oh yeah, both.
By blood, by heart, by everything. But I'm much younger than them. But I always considered myself too old to be Gen Z. But now I'm like, oh, but yeah, it's very difficult, especially when you're in the like
Between state. You mean?
yes.
On the
and
verge, you mean? Yeah.
yes,
yeah.
and you feel like a mixture
Yeah.
of both, which is totally fine. But it's just difficult in the beginning.
Yeah.
When you're like, so what even am I?
I feel like there's like 2 points that are very interesting that you just brought up. First thing is the need of micro generations like Zillennials.
Mm-hmm.
I said it in the beginning, but Zillennials technically are 1993 until 1998. So they only have like the 5 years. And I'm going to extend it 2000 because I personally believe that it is not just time criterion, it's also a space criterion. So where did you grow up? Because
That's true.
all these states are very like American.
Yeah.
America, or like they say, I should say, was very tech forward. So in Germany, even though it is a very tech forward country, at least compared to other countries, we didn't get a lot of access to a lot of stuff until a few years later compared to like the US. So I'm going to say like at least 3 years difference sometimes. And then also like countries like China and Japan, they are now ahead. But back then in like the 2000s,
they were
actually behind.
Yeah.
Even though it was a little, but they were behind, at least Germany. So this is also like a thing. That's I feel like we both really fit the Zillennials vibe more. Even though you no, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. That's what, like, go through what are the characteristics of each generation and then what you identify with the most and just take that on.
Yeah.
Unless it's like baby boomer and you're like 5.
Honestly, that's me with like Harry Potter houses. I did the test and I was like, I don't agree.
Yeah, same.
I don't give a shit. I'm this house. I want this house and I will be out.
Which
it's
is
a
very
fictional world.
Which is very Gen Z of you.
I literally did the test and I came out as Hufflepuff. I love Hufflepuff.
But we're both Ravenclaws, right?
Yeah, and for me, you're a Gryffindor.
Oh God, how dare you?
Are you serious? Don't you even have a Gryffindor scarf?
No, fully implanted into you.
That's crazy.
No,
For me, you've always been... What?
According to Pottermore, I am, but I read it and I was like, I don't wanna be. I don't wanna be a Gryffindor.
Me too. I then gaslighted myself so much that I googled what answers you need to put in. So you become Ravenclaw, and I put them in, and I was like, see, I'm a Ravenclaw.
That's one way to go about it.
No, but honestly, it's a fictional world with fictional houses.
But you
wanna be exactly. I'm gonna choose.
Yeah.
No hat's gonna choose for me. If I haven't received a letter from Hogwarts, then I get to choose my own house.
And it's actually also what happens in the movie. Harry Potter was supposed to be in Slytherin, and he was like, I don't want to be. I don't want to be. I want to be who I want to be.
Period. That's the best argument I've ever heard.
Really?
Anyone who ever says something against it again, I'm gonna say that.
Be main character. So Zillennials have this beautiful thing of a twin literacy. So what that means is they have media literacy, or like the digital literacy that millennials have. But they also, since they grew up with still analog stuff, they also have like analog literacy, I guess, like actual book literacy and like understanding stuff in like journals.
Yes.
Which Gen Z, I don't want to hate on them, but you can tell that they're getting a bit dumber when it comes to that stuff. Especially
that's hating on them.
I'm going on like what the teachers in my life are telling me, and I'm like, oh my God, that's so sad.
Is that Gen Z or Gen Alpha?
That's Gen Z.
I wouldn't agree for everyone.
That's the thing.
But yeah, they grew up with
now on the
digital
cusp.
things.
It's now on the cusp. That's
I do not agree nor deny.
She's Switzerland.
Yeah.
Zillennialism was defined by Instagram, by Tumblr, and by MySpace.
Are you kidding me?
What?
Oh, now I got it. I didn't understand the sentence. I thought you meant the definition is by Instagram.
No,
the definition is by Tumblr.
No.
That's what I looked at you like, what?
Like, No, just like Gen Z has like TikTok and millennials have Facebook, Zillennials have like Tumblr, MySpace, Instagram. They have like 3 different because they're
Who
it.
on earth uses Tumblr
Well,
and MySpace?
No, that's the thing. Like, if you were born in 1995 and you were in the right space, America, or
The right space.
also UK, Tumblr and MySpace was definitely like
That's
their thing.
crazy.
And then if you are like us and born in like later half of the Millennials and also space Germany, then Instagram was probably like your first real big thing.
Yeah, I think it was for me. And Pinterest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And YouTube. I don't know if that's a social media though.
I'm not sure about YouTube, honestly.
But I think my first like social media,
Because
real social media app was Instagram.
yeah, same.
Yeah.
Humphrey, what do you say? YouTube is a social media?
To social media, there's social media and social media platforms. I'd say only because YouTube gives you the opportunity to stream and also to get viewers and comments coming through. I probably would classify that as well as social media, but it doesn't come in the traditional way as we know, for example, as Facebook or Instagram. Unlike YouTube, it's got its own platform that originally is ideally meant for watching videos, but at the same time, there is that bit of YouTube that gives you the chance to comment and have mini conversations. So I would just say it's still, because it is still an aspect where you can gather public opinion and gather comments and sentiments from public. So I would just say we should probably consider that as social media. But it may not traditionally be the one we know or to call it social media.
What are we as well?
I feel like whenever you answer like a job interview.
He reminds me of when I did the episode.
Oh!
Was also like so insanely professional. I was like, who are you? So since we're on the gospel of YouTube, Ellie, so vlog squads, the YouTube era of vlogs. Oh my god.
I love it.
Oh my god, same. Like
love it.
2015, 16.
Like vlogs,
Yes.
also get ready with me's for girls and like makeup tutorials. That was the shit.
Yeah, and now everything is on TikTok, and it's like it
No,
feels
not
like
everything. A lot of people that are really successful on TikTok, they switch to YouTube.
true. I've seen it.
So
all.
I thought that YouTube wouldn't be like as big as it still is because of short video content, but still is thriving. And a lot of people, they added TikTok, but they still mainly on YouTube.
Yeah, I think that's good. Probably because
I
YouTube is
also
paying better.
appreciate it because I go on TikTok to have short video content, to have like no brain zone. But on YouTube, I go for maybe more information, also reviews on things. It could be book reviews, it could be makeup reviews, it could be anything, or just vlogs. Like I still watch them. I don't watch them as regularly as I used to, but I still do.
Yeah, and also the long video content on YouTube has seen like insane rise
That's so interesting.
since COVID, basically.
Wow.
So the amount of videos that are like 6 hours or even 10 hours just skyrocketed after or like during COVID.
Well, what kind of videos are those? Because I do watch videos like falling asleep and they're 10 hours. Or
No. I'm talking about like a video essay, for example, like dissecting a show or dissecting, as you said, a book or like a movie franchise, stuff like that.
I wouldn't watch that.
I watched that
It's way
so
too much for me.
I agree, but the thing is, when I watch a movie, I want to see it in one go. I hate when I have to interrupt a movie and watch it in different chapters.
I don't like to see it in one go.
Oh my god. So Gen Z, you.
Also, Vanessa, like, she has to finish an episode. And when
Same.
I don't.
I hate that so much.
Whenever I click on it and it says new episode, I'm like, did I make a mistake? What happened? Because I always stop whenever I want to.
No, I can only do that with YouTube videos. I don't mind at all. But when it's a show or when it's a book, I need to finish the chapter.
I think, okay, with it's the same for me because I also forget what happened. But with shows, movies and stuff, I think it just caused me so much anxiety as a child. When I watched something on TV, I was like, oh my God, I need to pee. And you get this 20 seconds advertisement break and you have to speed to the toilet. You pee as quickly as possible. You run back and the show already started. So I think I just like to be in control of things and being like, I am watching this, you're not watching. Doesn't make sense, but
No,
get what I mean? I
yeah.
rule over you. The TV doesn't rule over me.
I love when a TV rules.
Ah.
Oh, okay. Millennials also experienced Brexit. They experienced the Obama-Trump transition. They experienced COVID-19 and they experienced BLM. Obviously, all generations experienced all of these things. But especially for Millennials, this was like the teenage years where all of these things, or like the transitioning from being a teenager to an adult. This was like the main event that was going on, which is very interesting because psychologically speaking, this like transition to teenager to adult, these like, I'm gonna
Core
say it's
years.
10 years, yeah, core years, exactly. What happens in those years, that stay the most with you for the rest of your life. That's like psychologically speaking.
Yeah.
But then we also had like such amazing tech. So for example, MP3 players.
Oh.
And that's the Game Boy. Like the Zillennial console, so, because it just came out at that time.
Yeah.
And it was very big. So actually yesterday that, or 2 days ago at MediaMarkt, you can now buy old Game Boys.
For how much?
150. It's very expensive.
Are they kidding me?
I did not buy one yet, but there was a lot of sex positivity. There was a lot of fourth wave feminism during Zillennial times.
What's that?
So feminism came in waves, obviously.
Yes.
The first wave was probably like 1920s when the women were like, we kind of want to work and not be at home and be like trophy wives, which was like a very long fight because women were not allowed to work for a long time. Then I think the second wave must have been like after World War II, and the third wave would have been like hippie times probably. So this was the fourth wave of feminism, which was for more equality, especially in the workforce, but also like for rights stuff.
And we still don't have that.
No, we're not there yet.
Yay!
Probably it's right now fifth. If we're even at a wave right now, honestly, because
I'm
like,
not sure.
yeah, me neither. I feel like it kind of stopped during
Yeah,
COVID.
but we still have a crazy gender
Inequality.
inequality gap.
Yeah.
Also, when it comes to just payment, where
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, so I'm worthless
Yeah.
because I'm a woman.
Yeah. Which
I have
is
the same job.
And the reasoning behind
Okay.
it is, well, you can get pregnant. The chance of you like being ill or like not being able to work is higher, which is like,
Oh, so you don't want a society?
it's
Okay.
just crazy.
Sure.
Yeah, to me, crazy. Then it was also, sadly, the era of fake news. And then also, this gen was the first gen, or like micro gen, that was more influenced by what friends and family think than compared to ads. So millennials, when they saw ads on TV or like out in the wild, the ad influence was higher than compared to, and then also Gen Z, which is actually not very advertisement influenced.
Yeah.
So even though they see more advertisement than any generation before,
Yeah.
they get more opinions from like their friends or like their family.
I think what also changed a lot was now we have influencers.
Yeah.
So, for example, I also have my influencers and would trust them like with my money so much because I know a few where I'm like, if they tell me this is good, it's good. Like I can trust them. That's it. And I think we're not prone to normal advertisements anymore, which is from companies because we're like, nah.
Yeah.
And who tell me if it's good or not? Because you're always gonna advertise it as good.
Exactly. Like the amount of advertisement on like TV back in the day, like 20 years ago or like 15 years ago, where it was like, oh, this is like the best product for doing this. And you're like, not every product can be the best product. So like, which ones do I believe or which ones I don't?
100%.
And if a
Yeah.
family member, a friend, or in your case, an influencer, telling you, I tried this is the outcome. Let's talk about like scare, for example. If this is your skin, I have the same skin, then use product. If you have a different skin, then maybe use another one.
Yeah.
Which is way more believable than like a product being advertised for all skin types. And you're like,
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah. So, for example, all of my makeup is either from influencer recommendations or from my friends who use makeup a lot. But I don't just buy things because they're advertised as good. I want to see the results. And if they convince me, then I'm going to buy it.
Yeah. So there's not a lot of media trusting. In
Yeah.
sense. It's more like, of course,
because
media is also people, but
I think they screw with us too much, and we learned pretty young and pretty quickly that you cannot believe things just because they say it. Like you have to see results, you have to see the outcome, you have to see what it looks like, and not just, for example, with foundation. People have their phone here and they put on a filter and they put the makeup on.
Yeah.
But nowadays people are like, hey, and let me show you up close.
Yeah.
Let me show you how it looks like on textured skin. Let me show you how it looks like on this, that, whatever.
you know, actually very revolutionary for this. Kylie Jenner.
Where? Oh, I thought you were gonna say no, Fenty Beauty.
Oh, yeah, no, Kylie Jenner. Because she's one of the first people who like did like the close-up shots with her lipstick stuff.
Yeah, but that doesn't no. I don't agree because that's also on your arm, you know. It doesn't show how it looks like on different skin tones, different skin types.
I mean, of course, if I talk just about her as like her being the singular person, but she also did it on other people. people. It was not her.
I don't remember if she started it, but
I'm
Fenty.
I'm sure she's not like the first person, but she was definitely the first person to like do it in like a large media audience. And
Okay.
I'm sure she was not like the first person, but because of her media reach, she was, I mean, once one of the most followed people on Instagram, and Snapchat as well. I think she was the most followed person on Snapchat for like a long while. And she was like one of the first people to do it.
No, I know about Fenty, which is from Rihanna. She revolutionized foundation forever because she came out with I think 50 shade foundation.
Shades of Grey. Oh, sorry.
And like I watched so many videos before that with people who are like, I'm gonna, like, they were black and they were like, oh, I'm gonna try the darkest foundation in the drugstore. And it was literally a concealer for them because it was so bright. And I don't know if it's because Rihanna is also POC, but she was like, you know what? I'm gonna offer every shade. And she even came out with a white foundation, and I think I don't know if there was also a pure black foundation, but there was a pure white foundation. Ever since then, make brands have been like, oh shit, we need to step up the game.
Yeah.
And it changed everything.
It was very, very heavy on.
Like when I was younger, there were a max of 10 shades if you were lucky. Or if you went to like a really fancy MAC store, they had more, but they never had super dark colors.
She was very big on inclusivity when she launched it.
I really like Fenty Beauty and Rare Beauty. Because
Selena.
Because Rare Beauty, like, she focuses so much on how practical it is.
Yeah, the accessibility.
Yes, exactly. And that you can open it, and that you can, like, because I think she trembles or she doesn't have a lot of strength in her hands.
Yeah, because
she makes sure that everybody can open it easy.
And with one hand as well.
Yeah.
So
it's so nice.
Yeah.
It's so nice.
And also I think Rihanna might be a millennial as well.
I don't know when she was born, but probably.
100% before, like after 1980. 100%.
Sure.
No, because she was like 16 in 2004 or 5-ish when she released her first. Yeah.
Okay. Wow, she was so young.
Yeah, I know. Okay, the last few things I have about Zillennials, and before I go on to like a few questions about like in general, is Zillennials are very known for living with their parents in their 20s, which gives them we're both like,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Which gives them more money for traveling. So Zillennials are literally the travel gen.
Yeah, period.
Because they have more money.
Period.
Just from living at home.
Period.
Then also this gen is less likely to use dating apps. It's just something I found.
Interesting.
That's
Wait, which gen?
Zillennials.
I don't agree.
So here's the thing. This article was from, like, it was a recent one. I feel like in the past 5 years there was a major shift. So I'm going to say like 2015 to 20-ish, they were absolutely using dating apps. But then after or during COVID, it massively decreased. Yeah, that's also what I thought at first before I read this article. And then also when I talked with Paul about it, because he's like developing sort of a dating app, he had the same thing. He was actually, young people are not, like, statistically not using dating apps anymore.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because you would feel like they do, right?
Especially during COVID.
Yeah.
100%.
Well, I don't know exactly when it did stop, but I'm going to say like 2021, 2022 was like sort of like the turn of like it being in the decline. We're now in 2026.
Maybe, this is a theory, this is no fact, because they used it during COVID and they found out how shitty they are. And then they were like, fuck it.
Yeah.
No thank you.
And also people like to be more alone nowadays, more than ever.
Yeah, and I feel like it's nicer to meet people naturally
100%.
than on dating apps.
Yeah. Which basically brings me to like the last thing about Zillennials, which we talked about in the very, very beginning when we were discussing Gen Z, which is like the nostalgia effect. Zillennials try to actively curate their childhood more than any other sub-generation or generation, actually. And this is because they have like massive, you had to be there or nostalgia mentality. You. And then,
you more.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I'm the biggest victim of nostalgia. But it also makes sense because if you're like micro generation in between generations, you sort of have the best of both worlds. And growing up with literally everything.
We need the Hannah Montana.
And if you grow up with literally having the access to everything, and everything still being in its infancy, but still good.
Yeah.
And like at the time where we grew up, almost no war that we were like aware of.
Yes, exactly.
Almost every country was sort of like good,
Yeah.
or like at least changing to somewhat good. Yeah, of course we have nostalgia.
Everything was just fine.
Yeah.
We didn't have worries. My worries were that I couldn't go into the outfit I wanted to go to your house.
Yeah.
But I had to wear like an uglier outfit in case it got dirty.
Yeah.
That were my worries.
And especially when I look at like even our parents or like people around the same age as our parents, because people are like, oh, nostalgia is a thing that every generation experiences. And I'm like, honestly, the people in my life at least, I wouldn't say so.
I think for us, it just went like this. Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah.
And for others, like we experienced so much shit, like financial crises, war, climate crises, political crises, so many things, COVID. And it's within such a short amount of time. And I think a lot of people just underestimate because they're like, well, have you been in active war? And I'm like, no, have you? Have you? No, you haven't. So,
and we are more aware of it because of the internet.
Yeah.
Few generations, they got the news on TV, on the radio, or newspapers. We literally, when we wake up in the morning, it's like Trump did something again. And that's how we start our day. And the next day, it's the same shit. And like, how much shit can he do in a week?
Yeah, I'm excited for the next few years.
Yeah, he's gonna die. Not gonna cut that one. All right.
I was gonna say fingers crossed.
So to finish it off, you already said it. You identify more with Gen Z.
Yes.
I identify more with Millennials.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think you identify more with Gen Z and I identify more with Millennials?
Maybe also because of the people I was surrounded with.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Because ever since I was 18, I was with people who are mainly younger than me.
I feel like it even
and
started
I think
earlier.
I just love to adapt.
Yeah, but I feel like it started way, way earlier actually.
When?
Basically since you were born, because
what?
Here's the thing with your relationship to your siblings compared to my relationship to my sister.
Yeah.
Your siblings who have the same age difference than I have to my sister, more or less. You have 7 years and 9 years, right?
6 and 8.
Wait, and I have 7, so I'm exactly in the middle. Your siblings, because they had each other, they played with each other or with their friends.
Yeah.
And you got sort of
Left
out. Yeah, exactly. And in our neighborhood, we didn't have a lot of children to play with. So it was literally just...
we got each other.
Yeah, each other and then Nadia.
Yeah.
We're like the only people really that we...
Yeah.
And then with me and my sister, it was different because she didn't have an older sibling or a younger sibling. She only had me.
Yeah.
So I spent way, way, way more time with my sister.
Yeah. I wanted to say that too for you.
Yeah. And you were spending way, way more time with like people your age.
Yeah.
Especially in school, you had way more friends than I did.
Yeah.
In kindergarten, the same thing.
And I don't know if it's because of that, but you're much more nostalgic and much more like, this is how it was, this is how it will be, period. And I don't like old things. I like new things. I like modern things. I still don't like change, but if the change like my life easier, I like it.
Yeah.
And so I think that's why I'm also more in like the Z direction, and you're more like no.
And also when I grew up, I basically had everything from the get-go. So because my sister had gaming consoles and like the media that I was consuming, the stuff that I could do, like everything, started basically when I was 4 to have everything. And your first DS you got when you were 10, maybe 2010-ish, probably around that time.
Earliest, yeah.
And then also like I said before on the podcast, like even watching TV was not really possible for you in the sense that you
I was not allowed to.
Exactly. Until like way later, until you were like a teenage-ish.
Well, then I just rebelled against it.
Yeah.
I was like, you can't tell me nothing.
And I literally didn't have to do that. So I had all these like good things literally since I can remember. And you sort of earned them over time.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm way nostalgic. Because you did not have these things when you were a child.
That's true. Oh my god. In what year was the incident?
13 or 14.
Think about that one.
Yeah.
Just remembered with like consoles and nostalgia.
Yeah.
That was, I think, one of the funniest things ever. Even though it wasn't funny, but it was so funny.
Oh no, it was funny. It was absolutely funny. Not in the moment because we were terrified, but yeah.
It also reminds me when you play Nintendo at night in your bed and then you hear your parents.
Come up and you would.
And you're like, put your
under
Nintendo
the pillow,
under the pillow.
everything. Yeah.
And come in, but they could hear. I was like, I'm asleep. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
that's what you're nostalgic for. But that's like
That started way
10,
later.
11, 12, 13, 15.
Yeah, that's true.
Did you feel like you belong to another generation? Or if so, when did it change?
If you would have told me that I'm not officially Gen Z, I would have said Gen Z.
Okay. You are.
Yeah, I think I feel like I belong to, like, some aspects are still for millennials, but I think I'm mainly Gen Z.
Not a second in my life when I was Gen Z.
Yeah, me neither. For
But
you.
when I discovered Zillennial, I was like, yeah.
Yeah, that might be it.
Yeah. Although technically I do not belong there, but I belong there more than in Millennial.
Yeah.
Do you blame older generations on
Yes.
the current climate of the world?
I knew my answer already.
Okay.
Are you kidding me? It's a
don't.
serious question.
I don't actually.
I do.
I feel like
I'm not talking like, okay, you just said older generations. Politics, they're also older generations.
Yeah.
Are they doing shit for us? Are they doing shit for the climate? No, they're not.
I feel like every generation had its own issues though. And the climate was just not as
I'm
important
not
back then.
talking about like normal people, but I'm also, of course, like nuclear energy and stuff. But we didn't know better. Talking about the older generations, they're still in power and they're not changing
You
shit.
mean right now? Yeah, then yes, then I would probably say as well.
Of course, we also got other issues, and right now we should focus on like protection, no war, peace.
Peace, heavy on peace and love.
Yes, and like affordability of things, like good life quality. But in order to have all of these things, we need to not destroy our planet.
Yeah, that's probably not gonna happen anymore.
Nope.
How many seconds do we have left, technically speaking, on this like clock that's saying how many seconds we have left until the world is uninhabitable anymore? I think like 85.
Great.
Do you feel like there is a need to establish generations or even going for like micro generations? Or do you feel
Yes.
like there should just not be generations, just like all people, and it like doesn't make sense anyways because it depends on time, place, whatever?
I mean, it does. It's not easy to categorize them, but I think it's definitely helpful. Especially when you're younger and you don't know like who you are and where you belong to. And when you're young, you always want to belong somewhere. Something. So I think it's still helpful and I think it's still good. But I think the micro generations are really, really helpful.
Yeah.
Because in my opinion, a lot of people don't feel like they belong to either or both. And those micro generations enable to fill that gap. But I don't know if it will also become super messy.
I'm scared that now it will become messy.
Yeah.
Because already like the shift from Gen Alpha to Gen Beta is like
crazy.
It have started way earlier, first of all.
Yes. I don't know why they haven't changed it. I think with 2010.
There is actually you're right, 2000s. Let's keep it there.
Yeah, I think they should have shifted to max 10 years.
10 years.
Exactly. I think that's a good amount. And you can still have micro generations.
Yeah.
But 15 years? No, bro.
No, it just doesn't work anymore.
Too much shit happens in 15 years.
Yeah.
Felt like an oral exam in school.
Yeah. But I felt like out of all the topic episodes, this was like very disgusting.
Disgusting is a word?
No, I took that out. But like...
Yeah, it did feel very disgusting. Because I think we have a lot of opinions on it and also conflicting views, which is very interesting. Not like we're like, that's a true.
It's actually insane how we're like...
views.
Yeah, it's insane to me a lot of times, like how we're such good friends, but are so different.
Yeah.
Like so insanely different.
Yeah, I think we have the benefit of becoming friends quite so young.
Yeah.
And then we found out who we are and we developed and everything, but we just stayed friends.
I've seen you in every version that you ever were.
Yeah, scary.
No, that's lovely. All right, to wrap it up, topic for the last
do
episode.
you want to take it for once?
Humphrey, do you want to take it?
Yeah.
You basically just take a piece of paper. Yeah, sure, come. And then you read what's on it. Take whatever you want.
This one says nostalgia, old versus new.
Nice.
That's good. Perfect. I mean, we already talked a bit
you.
about it, so
Let's do that one.
let's do that one. I hope you have a lovely day.
I hope you feel loved. Have
I
a
hope
good
you
day.
were not
Drink
as
some water.
demolished by the Grammys as I was.
Drink some water. Have a snack. Take a rest.
All right. Bye.
And we'll see you soon. Bye.